Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google L, the FANG. So let's get right into Facebook. We're going to look at the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We're going to use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So what a day it had yesterday. We talked about this, right into the 750, and you have a 618 as well up here as well from another pivot. And boom, we stopped. We came back in today. Nothing crazy. We're 70 cents down. But you have to watch for this. Everyone was getting a little bit bearish on here. They popped it above, confirmed. Now we're confirmed above all the MA, so it's in a strong bullish stance. But remember, a lot of times these patterns fail at all-time highs. Until this one gets above 128.33, it's not going anywhere but down, the path of least resistance. So we're going to see if we get some follow-through tomorrow, see if we can close below the 20 MA, if the SPY and the Dow, Qs, IWM start dumping, this will come in. And looking at this was just a BS 3-up move, get everyone bullish. You got all the bag holders bouncing in here again. Oh, Facebook's going higher. I'm sure someone upgraded it the whole 9 yards to get everybody in. Turn off the talking heads, people. They just give you the wrong information. Especially, you're upgrading this thing at all-time highs. Are you kidding me? Upgrade this thing, you know, when it was down in here, down around 89 bucks or so. You don't upgrade it at 125.84. It's ridiculous. You know, again, though, we're back into the retrace. Choppy, sloppy pattern, nothing really but an inside bar pattern until it gets above the high. We're not going anywhere. Weekly chart. Bullish consolidation here as well. We had a little pullback, little inside bar, but it is overall a bullish pattern. But if you want to look at up, down, sideways, as long as we stay in this area, we're still above the MA, still in the strong stance. If this closes below this area, 122.83-ish, then the next step would be 122-ish, and then you come back into the all-time highs over here around 120 or so. And then the 20 moving average, see how it reacts. So if this thing comes straight down, we'll see if it bounces or if it just glows right through and continues to go down. The bulls, you need to get above the all-time high, 128.33, and I would say even about 130 with some follow-through and some more volume than this light volume crap. Monthly, stretched a little, not crazy. It did come back in August back here when they smashed it, but it did went straight up again. So I'm thinking we're getting a little far stretched, looking for a close above the all-time high. Well, tomorrow, I think we have one more day. Tomorrow will be the close. I doubt it will recapture it, but if it does, hey, then it's a little bit strong, but still going up on no volume. You have to keep an eye on it. So at this point, until this one closes above this green bar and then this all-time high, I still think we're going down. I'm bearish, guys. So just letting you know. Amazon, what a day yesterday. You know how many people they got on in this one? I don't know what happened. I think they're selling cars now or something. I don't even know anymore. But it comes back into the all-time highs, gets rejected, comes down today. It was down $3.71. On the daily, you can see a little bit better. So they try to get over the 773.67, never does, get rejected, comes back in, a little bit of follow-through, but it closed below this green bar low. That is bearish at this point. Now our next step, if you're short Amazon, we need to get below the 20, and then we need to get below this area in here as well. Right about there, which is 751.99. And I think we're heading right here to the 746.95, and then we'll reevaluate if we set up in a bearish stance or if we come back in and retrace. But there is a gap fill down here at 736.56, then a double bottom 728.43. Then ultimately you have this big gap here right around 707, and then this gap fill down in this area around 691, and then double bottom right around 682.13. Again, it's still fine, but if the SPY starts to dump, and I keep saying it, I know I sound like a broken record, everything's going down, especially stocks like this. Weekly, not too much, kind of chopping around, slightly bullish, but we have a little bit of a tail so far. I want to see on the weekly, close below the 752.91, 752-ish area, and then I think we're down at least going to go to 722, then this low pivot around 680 or so. But we'll see. We got to take it each day as it comes. We're still in the light volume environment, and you have to respect that. Monthly, though, Got another stretch chart. I mean, look at this. Stretch, 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 stretch. Comes in, never touches the 20-day moving average. Stretched again. 20-day moving average is at 561. It will curl up, but if this thing starts to come in, it's going to slow down, and ultimately right around 580, I think we have great support. You're going to have some support in here. Remember, this is a monthly chart, so it takes a little longer to play out. You're going to have another good support area around 696 or so. So if it comes down around 700, maybe a 1 or 2 day buyer. Again, if the SPY and everything else is dumping, it's going straight down with the rest of them. Let's look at Netflix. God, this thing hasn't really done anything in a while. Nobody likes Netflix anymore. Like, we'll go to the monthly chart. But here we are. We're trying to get above this inside bar. We've talked about this. You know, they tried it here, tried it there, tried it there, tried it here again. Couldn't get it above. Someone is trying to. They're going to have to upgrade it. That's the only way. And even if it gets above, you have the 200 here, and you have the 618, and this pivot, and the even number of 100. So you have huge resistance. They're going to have to get some rumor out there, or they got more subscriptions, or an analyst is going to have to upgrade this thing, and then maybe they'll pop it up over the 104. You will get like a $3 gap up, and then it will continue on to maybe the 104. And then ultimately, I mean, honestly, it could fill this gap up in here around 108. But they got to get it through this area. Kind of like BABA, where it sat and sat and sat. Then they got the earnings report and blast off. But technically, you have to get above this inside bar. Until then, not going to happen. It's got to close above that and then confirm. But then, like I said, we have a ton of resistance in that area. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, another inside bar. This is bullish, but we're ultimately in an inside bar bearish pattern until we close above this high around 100 bucks. Then we have resistance 618, 50 retrace, or the 50 moving average, and then we have this 750 retrace right at 104.43. So ton of resistance up in here, and a lot of times stocks will be like, you know what, I'm just tired. I'm just going to go down the path of least resistance, which is down. So that's Netflix weekly. Monthly, ugly pattern. This is down sideways, chopping in a bearish pattern. We have plenty of consolidations. This one, I still think it's going down right here, around 61 bucks eventually. If this pattern plays out, it's definitely going there. And if this pattern really plays out and the markets are dumping, we're going to 50. But that's right now. Anything can happen. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean much. But just look at my past videos. A lot of stuff I've said, it's been coming true. It's pretty crazy what the charts would tell you. So we're back to Google L. Same thing. Chops out, tries to break above the all-time high, never does. Gets below the 20-day moving average. We actually confirm. Now it's going sideways in a bearish manner. It is setting up to crack this area. If you're bearish, you're looking for a close below 785.18 with confirmation. Then I believe we'll go into the 250 retrace, and then we're coming right here to fill this gap at 265, and then at 260. Then you have support on the moving averages and stuff like that. Let's see. So we got to crack there. If you're bullish, you need to get above the all-time high and continue with some volume. Weekly. Weekly, same thing. We get up, pull back. Now we're in an inside bar bearish pattern holding on to this support here. Well, this is a weekly close, so we have to wait for the end of the week. But again, if we close below like 785 on the weekly, really it's this pivot, then I think we're on. And if it really starts to dump, we're definitely going back into the 750 area in Google L. And then we'll see if we could get a bounce or a setup for the next leg down. We'll watch the SPY and everything else to see if that's selling. Little bit of stretch job, not anything super critical, but we're almost have a little tiny topping tail. I wish we had a little more volume, but I'll take it. Again, if you want to short Google, you short it here. You use the all-time high as a stop out. Don't go crazy. Maybe a half position. If it moves up into that all-time high, you short more. It gets above it and confirms, you just stop out. Pretty simple. That's why it's so easy to short right now. You just use the all-time highs as stop outs. Very simple. You take a smaller position so you can have a wider stop out, and that's it. All right, so that's the FANG. Hopefully you guys are learning something from these videos. So far it's been pretty good. I've been posting them for the last couple weeks. Go back and check them, and then look at the ones today. Everything's starting to play out. The only thing saving the market, in my opinion, is the light volume. you get that picking up like 150 to 200 million in the SPY, we're going to get some selling. So be very careful in a non-complacent market. When you're having 50 million on the SPY and they have, you get 5 sellers coming in, you better look out and step aside. Again, everybody, thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.